Seocho, the legal district of Seoul. Towering skyscrapers scrape the sky, and inside, guardians of the law endure daily routines that feel like battles. The Hyokmin building is not just an ordinary office, it's a battleground as intense as a military training ground, where lawyers wage breathless wars every day. At 8:35 in the morning, the streets are already bustling with footsteps of lawyers heading to work. Some find a brief moment of happiness in a bowl of bean sprout soup for 8,800 won. But their lives are filled with endless cases and trials. Here, ninth-year associate attorney Ahn Ju-hyeong faces yet another challenge. Her latest case concerns Park Young-hyun, a blind tax accountant, accused of assault. He insists he didn't hit the victim, but the first trial accepted all charges. What is the truth? Ju-hyeong takes her first step in digging beneath the surface of the case. The morning at the Hyokmin building is always chaotic. Lawyers start their day with coffee in hand, facing piles of documents. Ju-hyeong shares light jokes with her colleagues, but somewhere in her mind, the weight of the cases never leaves. Her one absolute principle is this: never fall in love with a case. She refuses to be obsessed with winning or losing, focusing only on the truth. But this case shakes that principle. Park Young-hyun was in a romantic relationship with a victim, and the root of the conflict was money. Ju-hyeong discovers clues in his office. A suddenly changed interior and the victim's contradictory statements point to evidence of fabricated injuries. She looks for a way to protect the defendant's secret while preserving his qualification as a tax accountant. In court, her argument is sharp and resolute. The defendant is completely blind. It is impossible for him to have struck the victim's hand with precision, and there's no way the receiver could have flown all the way to the mirror. Ju-hyeong's meticulous logic overturns the original judgment, ultimately securing an acquittal. Meanwhile, a new breeze blows through the Hyokmin building. The arrival of rookie attorney Kang Hee-ji subtly changes the atmosphere of the firm. Bearing a striking resemblance to actress Moon Ga-young, she stands out from her very first day with her confident presence. Her directness and sharp questions unsettled Ju-hyeong. When Hee-ji asks, "Why did you become a lawyer?" Director Ju-hyeong pauses to recall her past. Her answer, that she wanted to solve the problems around her with her own hands, resonates with Hee-ji's own dreams. Yet a subtle tension lingers between them, especially when Hee-ji approaches Ju-hyeong, claiming to remember her as a former lover. Ju-hyeong is bewildered. When did we ever date? Ju-hyeong's memories are blurry, but Hee-ji is full of conviction. A brief meeting in Hong Kong, that memory becomes an inexplicable link between the two. The Hyokmin building is swept up in another whirlwind. The building's owner, President Sung, proposes the merger of 4 law firms. "Don't you think law firm Hyokmin is a great name? If we take up half the building, we'll be a huge law firm. It'll be great for business." Behind his sweet proposal is the calculation to secure long-term tenants. The firm heads continue the merger discussions, each weighing their own desires and suspicions. Ju-hyeong is skeptical about the merger, but she has reasons to stay. Her days are filled with cases and trials, but Seocho provides her with a sense of home and security. On the other hand, Hee-ji wants to realize her values in this new environment, never hesitating to fight for the underprivileged. A new case pits the two lawyers against each other once more. This time, it's an eviction lawsuit. Ju-hyeong represents the bank, while Hee-ji defends Jong-suk, a father of 2 living in public housing on the verge of being evicted so the bank can recover a deposit. The Supreme Court's ruling is in Hee-ji's favor. Public housing is a system to protect the vulnerable. You can't just evict people at will. Hee-ji's logic is resolute. Ju-hyeong, representing the bank, points out a practical problem. If loans are refused, even people who can repay will suffer.
Their debate transcends mere legal arguments, exposing the conflict between public and private interests, ideals and reality. Uji asks, "Doesn't it bother you to take on cases like this?" Joo-young remains silent. She has tried not to care about winning or losing, but Iji's question shakes her resolution. Life in Seocho is as eventful as ever. Lawyers prepare for trials from early morning, and at lunch they find brief respite over bean sprout soup. Attorney Cho Jung-won jokes our salaries are frozen, but the price of soup keeps going up. While attorney Bae Mung-jung dreams of meeting the love of her life on a blind date. Their conversations may seem lighthearted, but the weight of their cases sits on every shoulder. After trial, Joo-young returns to the office to organize documents and catch her breath. Yet, with Iji's arrival, her short-lived peace is disturbed again. "We definitely met and loved each other," Uji insists, leaving Joo-young confused. Fragmented memories of unfamiliar streets in Hong Kong begin to resurface. Could it really be true? The merger discussions at the Hyokmin building become more concrete by the day. President Sung's proposal is attractive, but the trust among the firm heads is thin. "Merging may make us look like a big firm, but in the end, everyone just does their own thing," someone says, expressing skepticism. Joo-young wants to stay, but is unsure whether she can withstand the changes the merger would bring. Iji throws herself into another new case, proposing pro bono representation for Jang Hyun-sek, but faces the opposition of the firm's leadership. If word gets out, everyone will ask for free representation. Though disappointed, Uji does not give up. She shares information to try to block Joo-young and the bank's lawsuit. Joo-young acknowledges Iji's passion, but still struggles with the practical constraints of reality. Days in Seocho are endless. The courtroom is filled with the meticulous logic and fiery passion of lawyers, and new cases always await in the office. Joo-young finds temporary relief after winning Park Young-yeon's case, but soon faces new challenges: real estate lawsuits and ongoing merger negotiations. She strives to redeem her place amid all the turmoil. Iji, remembering her past romance with Joo-young, refuses to let go of their connection. The two push and inspire each other as they grow. The lawyers of the Hyokmin building each carry their own ambitions and convictions, heading to court once again. Seocho is more than just a legal district. It is a stage for the fight for truth, a place where lives are changed. Joo-young, Uji, and the lawyers of the Hyokmin building continue their battles. Amid the winds of merger, new cases, and tangled memories, their story deepens into an ever more compelling drama. The guardians of the law never stop. Their footsteps echo through the streets of Seocho, ever moving toward new truths.